What's up, everybody? All right, today we're going to do a little bit of tinkering, which is kind of the whole point of having an RC car. So, I've got two sets of wheels for my EVO Pro. I bought some Little Guy Racing 1552 wheels. They look really nice. And I bought some Swamp King tires. I put them together. That was my first set of aftermarket wheels and tires. And they performed really, really well. But I also wanted to put some more weight on it and down low. And so I decided I was going to buy a set of Injora brass wheels. And I decided to get some tires from them as well. Why not? So I bought some 1-inch full brass I guess they're technically 4-piece wheels from Injora, and then I also bought their 64 millimeter Swamp Kings, or not Swamp Kings, Rock Terrains, and I ran that set. Now, this all started because when I was putting those together, the Injora wheels, since they're full brass, the center section of the wheel is real thick and big. And what I noticed is that when I tightened all of the bolts and everything was all done together, the wheels didn't vent. I mean, even though it had a vented ring in it, because the middle part of the wheel was solid, once you tightened everything up, the tolerances were so close, and then you tighten the wheel, the rubber around the wheel up, and there was no more venting. So I decided, well, let's swap wheels and tires and see what they do, and so that's what I've done. So this is my current 1552 wheels with the Injora tires, and these are vented, so they've got a good, nice little vented sound to them. I'm going to try that out because I want to see how those wheels do in that scenario. And then I took my all brass wheels, which are these, and these Little Guy Racing part tires, and I put them together. But again, because they don't really vent very well because of the solid brass wheel, I took the inserts out. And so now they just have whatever air is trapped in them, and they're going to be more so like a true-to-life rock crawler. We're going to try it today. I know my side hilling won't be great, but I want to see if there's some places where I was trying to crawl and I couldn't get up some obstacles. Let's see if maybe running these with that kind of locked-up air in there and no inserts, let's see what happens. All right, let's hit this first little climb real quick. That first section I could never make. I finally got it. The second section was fantastic. That was a nice little climb right out of the gate to kind of set the tone for the day, I guess. This is a nice little challenge line I've done before, and I kind of wanted to see how these wheels or these tires do with the venting. And they definitely squish some more, especially right here. You can see this. Oof, yep. Now when I go up here, I'm going to try a little more aggressive line than I've done before. And they just kind of bite in and do a good job. That was a great line right there. So now we're here to the real test. These are the full brass wheels with no inserts, and the air is just kind of trapped in there. And you can see they just grip on and they're climbing. So instead of going to the right, I'm going to try this line. Later in the day, I did make it straight up with a little bit of different angle, but here I'm just kind of seeing what I can and can't grab, and like that little spot there, that was pretty nice. So now I'm getting a little froggy. We're going to get a little more aggressive. You can see here where they deform. That still didn't really hurt anything. And as you can see, they're again just grabbing for grip. And yep, we're going to try and go real hard this way. Let's see what we can do. I get caught up here. I don't want to go backwards. So I just kind of push through it. And that worked out well. You can see that tire grabbing for grip in the back. That's the first time I've ever made that line that aggressive and made it up through this little hole here. So that's awesome. Now, this is my nemesis. Every time I've come to PJ's, I've tried to make it up through this little rock cluster here, and I've just never been able to do it. It's always been kind of the same turnout. You know, I either spin a lot or I end up tipping over, or both. And I've just never been able to make it up there, and it's been pretty frustrating. And so I've been trying to find some sort of combination to do it, and I've had no luck. Let's see how this goes. Again, full brass wheels, no inserts. It's just whatever air is trapped in these Little Guy Racing parts. Tires here, let's see. So I'm kind of back again to spinning, but I'm just going to keep going, keep moving around, see if I can find just a little bit of traction. And yep, there it is. Ooh, watch out for the sign up on top. Go through. Now I don't want to fall off to the left here. Oh, look at that. First time I've ever made that line. That was fantastic. So now this is just kind of a fun line. I've done this before, but they are doing a little competition, and so they're putting gates up and they're changing the lines a little bit, so I thought I'd give it a go with these tires. And there was mower composed through here, which was nice. And then this is the hard part. So you go through the gate, but then they put trees at the top, so you kind of have to go around the trees as opposed to just up and over. And then on this other side, there's another gate. I didn't hit this quite as clean as I'd like, but man, I made it through pretty easy up that part. Now we got to come down a bit. And here you can see a little bit more where the tires are deforming, but not terribly. And I'm just going to kind of, yep, give that gate a little kiss. Man, that's some good crawling for the day. That was fun. All right, well, I just got done crawling, and I was actually blown away. I was pleasantly surprised. The wheels that aren't vented, that I thought were going to be super, I thought they were just going to slide around a lot, and I thought they were just going to be too soft. They actually gripped really, really well. The other cool part about it is kind of the noise that they make when they're real soft and grippy like that. Is on this particular surface, they were really grippy, and you could hear that like you could really hear them gripping and biting onto the surface and really trying. So I was pleasantly surprised. I've got to say, running these wheels and tires, not vented with no foam inserts. I don't know if it was just the weight, because obviously it's much heavier with four brass wheels versus the typical just aluminum wheels. But man, oh man, this thing did so much better. I was blown away. I thought it was going to be maybe hit or miss. Maybe it did better here, but it did really bad there. No, this thing just did better almost everywhere. So we'll have to do a little bit more testing, but initially that's pretty awesome. Now, cool, this is why tinkering's fun. I would have never thought that they would have done as well as they did, and yet now I know. So there we go. That's awesome. Thanks for wheeling with me, I guess.